Hi, everybody. Welcome to Happy Half Hour. I'm Troy Johnson. That's Jackie Bryant right over there. It's fall in San Diego. Fall, I have this theory that butternut squash raviolis are the pumpkin spice of San Diego kitchens.
Yes.
They're the pumpkin spice lattes of... Let's see. Butternut squash raviolis are the pumpkin spice lattes of San Diego kitchens. Like, get ready for it. Here they come. They come hot and hard.
If they're not even here already.
I know. You know, I mean, it's all squash and these handmade pastas. I don't know. I'm not complaining.
We like to pretend.
We do like to pretend. We are going to do an all news segment for you guys today. Pure, straight news. We're the CNN of Happy Half Hour.
I've been joking that it's our haunted house episode. You know that meme? That's like, it's a haunted house, and it's something that's like personally like
but it's
very
Jackie
intense
and Troy
and miserable
just
to you.
talking over
just
and
us
over
for hours and hours and hours and hours on end.
So we hope that you guys enjoy the news from San Diego's food scene. This will be everything you possibly need to know about San Diego's food scene and everything you didn't even know that you wanted to know about San Diego's food scene. But we have all of the details. We're going to talk about how San Diego and the Mediterranean are very close in culture, and a really surprising spot is opening up a restaurant with a high stakes person from the scene. You would not expect this place to actually have great F&B, but this just might. Anyways, I got to tell you a story. So Elia. Okay, so my daughter's 14 years old and she's having her first homecoming. And I just found out about 4.5 days ago that we have been invited. Actually, the whole school has been told that the Johnsons are throwing a party for 16 girls on homecoming. Literally just texted us the other day and she's like, oh yeah, well, I kind of had a little bit of a problem and somebody else was throwing a party and I was invited, but my friends weren't. So I need you guys to throw a light 16-person homecoming experience for the girls of Del Norte High School, in which we're so glad and we're so honored and we're a little bit shocked.
Blessed, really. I think this is great.
It's in a week, Jackie.
No, I think this is great because, okay, listen, if this was 1992, whatever, like the pressure's off. Maybe you have a Polaroid or you have your little Pentax camera and no one's ever going to look at these pictures again. But we live in the digital era and those girls are on social media and there's got to be a spectacle. They're going to be all dolled up. They're going to need refreshments. They're going to need a vibe. They are going to need a vibe.
You're intentionally trying to give me a panic attack right now. I know this is Jackie just dangling the panic
Halloween.
attack, the Xanax in front of me and just seeing when I bite. So here's what happens. So, and I understand why this. Anybody at home, if you don't have kids, you can fast forward through this part. But if you do have kids, you'll probably get a little kick out of this one. Because she's 14, there's enormous social pressure when you go into a new high school and she's trying to make friends. One of her friends, whose parents have ample resources, are throwing a massive party for like the entire football team or something like this. And a bunch of girls. And, you know, they're having everybody at their house. It's going to be a whole experience. Elliot got invited, but some of her friends did not. So I kudos to my daughter.
Yeah,
on this
which
one.
like, and a reflection on you guys. Great parenting.
Right. I mean, mid to middling, but
Nice kid though.
in this great kid though, you know, so this one, she said, you know, I want to throw, don't worry, my parents are going to throw this party for us. And this is what she told them. She said that we're going to do brunch in La Jolla. 16 girls for homecoming.
Are you paying for it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like this is totally like right.
I can't pay for this.
I'm obsessed.
So 16 lunch or brunch for that. And then
sounds reasonable.
Just a get ready with me experience. So what, I guess she wants a glam squad or
Well,
something
you're
like
also
that.
going to need to hire a creator for that. You know that's the thing at weddings. You hire creators for weddings and then they make, you know, like a video reel.
You can never talk to my daughter. You're just not even allowed. And then she go, and we'll do dinner downtown in the gas lamp.
Wait, so it's like a whole day? I love it. I love it.
Like, who do you think your parents are?
Troy Johnson, who knows everyone in restaurants.
I own media. I don't own like, you know, a French clothing label, you know?
I love it whenever everyone's like, I saw you on TV. And like, they just like assume that somewhere in the background, that means like you have money. Cause like if people care about you and you're like on TV or on the radio or you're writing, like obviously like you must be rich.
I want to be.
And I'm like, no. Those things are not equal. People don't pay attention to me. That's not why.
I'll tell you this, Jay. I want to be online Troy Johnson because online Troy Johnson is reportedly worth $4 million.
Ooh.
Yes. I know. My stepmom
I want to be friends with him.
Sent me this link, you know, that says
Bye,
like
IRL Troy Johnson. See you later.
IRL Troy Johnson's real CRVE compared to that $4 million Troy Johnson online.
Wait, so what are you going to do?
Okay, so anyways, so we called friends. We immediately called friends. So we are emceeing, and we'll get to this in a second. We're emceeing the Chefsgiving, which is a great event with a bunch of tons of great chefs from around San Diego down at the Pendry. And because we're emceeing it, you have to work and study it, and really get prepared when you're doing this thing to be able to introduce the chefs and say something kind about them and to say something about their food, and just know what the hell you're talking about. It's for the San Diego Food Bank, and so they offered us a hotel suite to do it because it's for charity. I'm like, look, we're not going to take money, but if you could put us up for the night,
but we will take one of your very nice
one of your suites. So now that suite's gone. Because I traded that suite for the girls.
Wait, that's going to be so cool for them. And everyone else is going to be in a suburban backyard, but they're going to be downtown in the suite. That is chic. Good for you.
14 girls from Del Norte High School are going to be in the suite that I was supposed to have.
Wait, amazing hookup.
At the Pendry in downtown. So they'll have that, and they'll take the pictures somewhere in the downtown scape. You know what I mean? It'll just be I don't know, like a bunch of pigeons, some chewed up bubblegum and skyline. And so then we're getting a limo bus. The limo bus is the only thing that we couldn't get paid for, because that was on trade. And then University Club, we're taking them to the University Club, which just got a full redo. It's one of San Diego's private clubs. They've done a really good job of pulling in some of the food and beverage directors from Puffer Malarkey, Juniper, and Ivy.
And Adrian Mendoza, who is at Chefsgiving at the Pendry, is the chef and the head baker at University.
So they're going to have they're going to have 16 girls up there, overlooking on the 34th floor, the skyline and everything else. I told my daughter.
You figured it out.
I'm like, you barely live on this one. You have one. I'm going to bail you out this one time. And you know what happened? You know exactly what happened. So she probably mentioned to her friend that she might be able to talk to us. And that friend was like, oh, Ellie is hosting. And that went around on text. And she basically said uh-oh, I'm in total shit show hell in the social scene right now. Will you bail me out?
My dad works in the music industry and directly with very large artists and musicians. And so my whole life I always had backstage passes, meet and greets, this, that. And so me just being a dumb teenager and obviously trying to look cool, I was always, my dad can get us my dad. And you know what? He usually could, and it kind of worked. Right. But at the same time, he would I would volunteer obviously before checking with him, and he'd be like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And then he'd have to call up Aerosmith and be like, "My stupid daughter promised her high school boyfriend that," and it worked to his credit. Thanks, Dad.
Her high school boyfriend,
but I was a real dick about it. I really took advantage.
Wants to drive your tour bus to his prom.
No, I actually got to the trade-off very quickly was I got to deliver guitar cables to Joe Perry because he needed them. And he said, you know what, we'll let her in, but she's got to do us a favor. So it was a very Wayne's World, we're not worthy moment.
Did Joe Perry just pass too?
No.
Did I make that up?
Was he? Oh my God, I would die.
I'm like a bad internet meme when they.
I know, and every time I come in to the office, actually somebody dies. So stay tuned.
Okay, got it. Perry.
More Halloween, more Grim Reaper for you.
No, there's no recent news of Joe Perry passing. So
what a legend.
Fake news. Anyways,
back to
this.
Oh wait, so you've got it totally figured out. I'm actually insanely proud of you. That sounds like a really great day.
Most of it was Claire.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Well, that's.
I'm the one.
That's why you get married,
telling
right?
the story on air, so I can give her all the credit. All right. So, anyways, we promise you some news today. I do want to mention one thing, and this is going to come up later in the year. I went up to friends of ours, and actually the former general manager of the Lodge at Torrey Pines is now the general manager at a place called Alisal Ranch up in Solvang.
Oh, is that where you guys are? Dude, that place rules.
If you haven't gone, you should probably go.
I've only gone, I have to be very clear because it's not cheap. I've only gone in my, dealings as a travel writer in the course of very hard work.
Yeah. So we honestly, we couldn't afford it either, but they're partners of ours, and they invited us up. They go, hey, come check it out because they're doing a barbecue boot camp with a ton of great chefs like Drew Deckman, Brad Wise did it last year. I think he's doing it again. It's May 3rd and 5th next year. They asked me to MC it. So they wanted me to come up and experience the place to get to know them and everything else and see what it was all about. point being, it was awesome. It is like basically a horse ranch. It's been around since 1880s. And like the ranch itself, I think was like 1946, but the land has been a cattle ranch, 11,000 acres, largely untouched. It is just you and a horse and some barn animals and kids.
And they have a Santa Maria grill there. And that's what they do all their barbecue. I was saying barbecue style, like Santa Barbara style.
Yep.
And they do it on that Santa Maria grill. And
they
that's
barbecue Barbaras on that Santa Maria grill.
That actually sounds fun.
Yeah. Anyway, so go check that out. And May 3rd through 5th is their barbecue boot camp. And there'll be a bunch of great things.
That sounds cool as hell.
Okay. That was it. Now is the real news that you guys, that we told you that we were going to give you. This is Jackie's expertise. I'm going to shut the fuck up now and let her do.
So Valle up in Oceanside, Michelin star winner. It's celebrating its 4-year anniversary, which I actually can't believe because it did open during COVID. So just for me, it's a very vivid point, like marker, a very vivid example of the passage of time. Like, oh my God, it's already been 4 years.
4 years.
That's like a walking, talking child.
And Valle got its Michelin star 2 years ago, I think, 3?
Yes, 2 or 3. I have to be honest, it's either 2 or 3.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, but it's Roberta Alcocer, who's from Valle de Guadalupe. That's kind of why they call it Valle, because they just wanted to like celebrate, the connection between San Diego and all of Baja, but Valle.
His restaurant down there is called Malva. Also excellent. Has been one of the original finer dining restaurants that actually opened in Valle de Guadalupe, even like before Deckman's, before a bunch of them. And he's been quietly there, like right when you enter the valley, on the right hand side for a long time. So finally, after a lot
was Malva before Deckman's?
It was either before or around the same time. He was one of the quiet originals. And he never, while his profile was very, very high in Mexico specifically, and in Latin America and in like Mexican and Latin American food press, definitely made waves in San Diego and some American press that was like centered on Mexican dining, but never quite reached the level that some other chefs did in the public profile while he was still just in Valle. So I think coming to the United States and bringing everything over here is what really like elevated him. But it was interesting because his talent was tapped before that. So like those in the know knew, you know what I'm saying? And I think coming to Valle just kind of legitimized that on a bigger stage. And
they made it. It's in the Mission Pacific Hotel. It's at the bottom level, right by the Top Gun house, which has now been turned into a cute bakery. And for this dinner on the 25th, which is the same night of my homecoming experience for 16 girls at Del Norte High School. So I can't go to this. They're going to have Michelin star chef Louis Roger.
That's a great question.
Roger. Louis Roger of BNC in Houston is coming out. They're going to cook a meal together. And it's so one thing I will say about Roberto Alcocer and Malva, and then him coming to Valle and getting his Michelin star. And it's amazing. It's, suitable and amazing that we got a Mexican Michelin star so quick, because Mexican food has been kind of like, there's been a glass ceiling on Mexican food because everybody expects it to be just like casual things like that.
And also the fact that it's Baja specific. Like it's not just from another region in Mexico. It's our region in Mexico. Yeah.
And Alcocer, like he had his place in Valle, and there was a terrible car accident in which he lost a lot of friends. They were driving on late at night Mountain Road, and there was a car accident where he lost like 3 or I forget how many people, but there's a couple of chefs and really good, deep personal friends and coworkers that he lost at Malva.
Yeah, it's basically his whole staff just wiped out.
It was like his whole staff wiped out, and then to go through that and make it through, and then come up here and doing a Michelin star and having it 4 years. Awesome, congrats, Roberto.
Woohoo! And we have some chef moves. Claudette Zepeda departs Leu Leu. I was scrolling on Instagram this morning, as were you, as was Beth, as I quickly learned once I started texting everybody, and she announced, I think, what is Leu Leu? How old is it? A year? Definitely less than a year. Maybe 6 months, 8 months, something like that. Mm-hmm. She's out. She's the IB Tijuana born and raised chef. And she said it was a blast, basically, but she's going to focus on her upcoming filming projects, other food products with her company, Chispa Hospitality. And she also says that she's got a book coming out.
Yeah. She has a book with Francis Lam, who's one of the most respected, like, culinary culinary historians, and he runs a printing press. He's an editor. She says that he's amazing. She's going to put that out.
Nice. She's a talented writer.
She's a very talented writer. I mean, Claudette has opened up a lot of restaurants in San Diego, and she's obviously a whip smart, intelligent, funny, great on TV. You know,
she's a polyglot. She's got multiple talents. She's got multiple interests.
I know. It just, you know, a lot of these chefs. I mean, I think in Claudette's heart, and I'm speaking for her here. I'm not speaking for her because I haven't talked to her about this news yet. I think that there's the idea of wanting to open somewhere special like Leu Leu. And Leu Leu, if you've been in it, is cool.
It's a fever dream.
The vibe feels great. Like it's just, it's like this little, like, I don't know. I don't want to say tiki because it's not. It's like Polynesian, like a cross. It's very Leucadia. And which makes sense because all the people involved in it, like the owners, are all like generational Leucadians, and they want to open up the spot like that. And then they're like, "Oh my God, I got a call from Food Network. I get a call from Top Chef," and then that may not work out long term because you're like, "Look, I think it's going to be good for the restaurant if I take this," and then you hit a point where you're like, okay, but I'm not in there enough, or I can't be in there enough, or your partners are like, you can't be in here enough. We need,
and also like, national. I tell this to people. Sometimes restaurateurs who are speaking, like, just ask me, like, should I hire a PR company? And I'm like, listen, like, national press and being on national TV, if you're attached to a restaurant, obviously it can help. But at the end of the day, you are where you are, and you're trying to reach those butts in those seats. So
exactly,
like, it actually almost you know what I mean? So I can see how someone might not let someone out of the kitchen, even though it seems like such a big opportunity. It actually may not turn into meaningful butts in the seat for the restaurant. Yeah.
And as this news breaks, I will urge people, if you haven't been to Leu Leu, Leu,
Yep.
Leu, go check it out, because as something like this happens, you know, some people might stop going, or so, you know, and you shouldn't. You should support this restaurant through this transition, and a lot of that menu is still the same as it's going to, and the chefs and the cooks that have been there underneath her are going to be executing. I'm sure they're going to have a new chef in there. I'm sure there's going to be changes that'll be coming, or maybe not. Maybe she said it, opened it, and they're going to carry on those recipes, and maybe they bring her back for like consultancy or whatever.
Which is definitely a model that exists in cooking in restaurants right now.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, our entire building just shook.
Yeah, something happened, and there was a big crash. So if we die, Halloween episode.
And there's a crane like lifting massive things up this new building here. Anyways, that's it. Leu Leu on a new transition. What's next?
All right, Orexi in Little Italy. It's a Mediterranean fusion spot opening late November inside the Courtyard by Marriott, San Diego, downtown Little Italy, which is the former Little Italy hotel.
This is the one I was
crazy.
saying. I'm all Courtyard Marriott.
Like what?
I mean, not too many 2-star Michelins, not too many like even like really good. And this is not to say anything bad about Marriott. I'm just saying that
the Courtyard's fine. The Courtyard's the one where like you're driving on the 5 and you're like, oh, I got to pull over for the night. You know what? That'll be clean enough and nice enough. And you know what? Maybe I'll dip in the pool too.
Yeah. Except for they hired somebody that's been at like is it the Inner Rancho Santa Fe? No, it's Rancho Valencia?
Yes, Rancho Valencia, and also cooked at Trust. His name is James Yatta.
James Yatta?
Yeah.
He was a cook at Trust, or was he the GM?
It's a great question. I just know that he worked there.
All right. James Yatta, I believe, who is the GM of the place. I mean, they're basically bringing him in.
Yes, he's the F&B director. Is his
the
title
F&B director.
Here. Yes.
Okay.
Sorry. I thought you meant at the previous spots. I was like, that I don't really know. But he is the F&B director at Orexi.
Okay. So Orexi is coming into Little Italy with somebody from Trust Restaurant Group, which has Fort Oak, Cardellino, Wise Ox, Trust itself. I mean, Rare Society. You know, that's a damn
my favorite,
good group.
My favorite group in the city. So anybody who comes from there and that's their cooking philosophy and hospitality philosophy, I'm 2 thumbs up on board with that.
I'm just excited for Courtyard Marriott.
I know, and it's a Greek word. It means appetite in Greek, and like we need more of all of that.
It's like that's kind of like your like kid brother coming up and be like, I made a clafouti. You know, you're like, what?
Like,
you
what?
did what?
You? Okay.
You didn't do a bread pudding? It's like, nah, I went for a clafouti.
I love it. We were living in the age of extreme irony, so I think it's actually perfect.
All right, there we go. What's next?
Let's see, juniper and ivory.
Oh wait, so Orexi Mediterranean, right?
It's Mediterranean. It means appetite in Greek. So the menu is going to span coastal flavors from here and there: whipped feta, garlic hummus, kofta sliders, burrata Mediterranean, seared Pacific salmon, grilled butcher steak. You got to have a little of everything for everyone. Breakfast, shakshuka, tahini vinaigrette egg bowls, and they've got all kinds of local beers, as local spirits as you can get, but also like niche bottlings and smaller craft spirits. All those things. Interiors lean coastal with light wood, hanging plants, and neutral tones. There are 89 seats. You wanted facts? I got them.
Jackie just dumped facts on that. So Mediterranean, you always often hear Mediterranean and Californian and Southern California have that twin behavioral food behaviors, right?
Well, we have similar seasons.
We have very similar seasons in terms of the growing length of them, right? And same, about the same temperature, but San Diego is like the dry aged Mediterranean, right? It's the cactal version of Mediterranean.
More southern Greece, super southern Italy in terms of that. Because like we were talking about the weather before. I actually just did a spot on KPBS about local summer because I post about it all the time, which is this period of time that we're in where right now it is October 20th and I know it's 85 degrees in my house today. That is local summer. It's when everyone's left and we get to enjoy our bounty without any of the tourists, right?
The best weather of the year.
Yeah. So like I see that as part of the Mediterranean vibe, part of climate, because in Europe right now, like actually a lot of the seasonal restaurants and stuff in the coastal areas, they'll stay open till October because the weather's still nice and the water's still warm. And so we mimic it in so many ways. It's weather, it's vibe, it's mindset. It's kind of like all of it.
And seafood heavy.
Yeah.
The produce is pretty damn fantastic. The main difference is that most of the Mediterranean gets more rainfall than San Diego does, right?
Yes.
So we are the drought resistant version of the Mediterranean, which is so crazy to me. How do we become the avocado capital of the world?
I know, because they need it in grapes.
Avocados are like that coworker who brings in that like oil drum of water. They're on like I gotta drink
like all toddlers nowadays.
300 ounces of this before I finish work today because I'm on a super hydration program that I read about on the internet.
It's not me, but I've seen it happen.
Yeah, so I mean that's an avocado tree. Avocado tree is one of the thirstiest trees out there. Avocado is your friend who wakes up in Vegas on a Sunday morning and he's like,
we don't love smart agricultural urban planning on this side of the Mediterranean as much as they do on that side of the Mediterranean. I'll leave it there.
Very true.
But anyway, I love it because also in Mediterranean culture, the birthright of having good food and drink, no matter where you are, no matter how much money you make, whatever, brings us back to the Courtyard Marriott. I love it.
Absolutely. So that's why the Mediterranean and San Diego are often like basically twins. So whenever you say Mediterranean food, you can kind of say San Diego food too.
Yeah. So Juniper and Ivy, they're going to host Cayuse Vineyards. It's a one-night only dinner on November 13th, and it's featuring Cayuse Vineyards founder Christophe Baron. It's a 4-course pairing dinner Sorry, I am just tongue-tied today. Showcasing his iconic Walla Walla wines.
So Walla Walla wines, they have like there's like a cobbly loam. You got that basalt.
This is in Washington, right?
Mm-hmm. Walla Walla, Washington. You got the basalt. Basalt basically gives any kind of wine that they do a minerality to it.
Because it's kind of deserty out there too.
A structure.
Yeah.
And so they're known for really small batch Syrahs, like Rhone-style Syrahs. And this winemaker, he's a French winemaker, Vigneron.
Yeah.
He's a French vigneron. He's going to be on in Juniper and Ivy doing this dinner. Look, Juniper and Ivy, again, one of my favorite spots. 10 years going. John Sloan's one of my favorite human beings. This should be an amazing dinner. I love that this winery says that they are highly stressed vines.
Yes. That's why they say old.
They're like the financial bros of wines.
You make it work. The output, the harder the juice, the better the squeeze. That kind of thing. And that's why also old vines, even though they, we don't have as many wine growth here in the United States. Obviously, it's more of a Europe thing. But that's why old vines are prioritized because even though they are less output,
harder you make them struggle,
so much better.
The better they are.
Yeah.
I think that's same for humans.
It's kind of a physics maxim, just like for life.
Yeah,
You know,
right?
diamonds literally are made out of pressure.
Out of pressure.
I mean, we do see this in nature. Yes, it's we should go with it rather than fight it.
That's it. All right, so that's the Cayuse Winery dinner. What day is it?
That is November 13th. It's a Tuesday.
Okay, there you go.
So Ming's Kitchen. It's a Cambodio-Filipino pop-up from Darius, Ilario, and Kelly Ook, inspired by Ook's mother's recipes. The highlights are garlic stave over rice with crack sauce, mango sticky rice, smoked millfish, nam khao, fish sauce, or salt and pepper wings. They pop up at Bika, Pizza Kaiju, La Mesa Wineworks, and the Soap Factory. And you can follow Ming's Kitchen on Instagram.
We have a great story about them. Have you had it yet?
No, I haven't, but I'm just really excited because ever since Soch from Angkorian Pikestaff moved back to the East Coast in the last couple of years, we've had 100% fewer Cambodian pop-ups. So it's the truth of it. So she just came back and did a pop-up at Pizza Kaiju that was excellent. Just came back to visit and say hi. So I'm very stoked from this. And obviously, I love all Southeast Asian cuisines, and Filipino is one of the dominant. So anytime it's popping up, it's getting its provenance. We have one of the biggest Filipino populations in the United States. I love it.
Nice. All right. So the next one is a story that actually came to San Diego. We did it in San Diego Magazine because my mom. Thanks, Mom. My mom went to this Ukrainian cafe, and she's like, you know what? I met this nice couple that runs this. I don't know why my mom's Jewish in this story. We met this nice couple, and they're from the Ukraine, and they, and I told them that my son owns San Diego Magazine, and I'm going to give them, give you their information, and you're going to do something. I'm like, oh,
family got you again.
Family got you again. Except for then you look into it, and I'm like, oh, that's really cool because obviously the world stage is on Ukraine for terrible reasons, for the last few years, but it gets you thinking about, just the culture and, and the people that kind of diaspora, the people have the refugees having to leave, and where they can find homes. And this couple found a home in San Diego, and they've been cooking Ukrainian specialties at this place in Rancho Bernardo for a couple years now, and apparently it's pretty damn good. I haven't been yet.
I need to go.
I know.
Yeah, they've got sirniki, cottage cheese pancakes with caramel and berries. I'm interested. Shakshuka, Ukrainian dumplings, potato and mushroom, meat or sour cherry. I'm very interesting. Borscht, house pastries, and they're planning a downtown San Diego expansion next year with a breakfast forward concept. This is in Poway, by the way. It's Need to Eat Café.
Poway, not Rancho Bernardo. My mom's church is in Rancho Bernardo. That's why I thought that.
Yeah, same area.
Yeah. Salvation in Rancho Bernardo, mom's Ukrainian cafe in Poway.
I love it. Puesto, they're going seed oil free. As of October 1st, all 8 Puesto locations now cook without seed oils using avocado oil, olive oil, and RSPO certified palm oil only. They're the first Mexican restaurant group in the U.S. to make the switch, they say. And it continues Puesto's clean ingredient commitment after added-free tequila and non-GMO tortillas.
Now, do we believe the seed oil thing yet or not? I mean, I'm glad that they're doing it. Look, the science is mixed. The opinions are mixed, so...
I absolutely believe in cooking with a variety of oils. Obviously, the higher heat at which
eat the rainbow
cook.
of everything.
Yeah. So I think there's a place for everything. Absolutely. I think the fact that humans are still alive, most of us, for a long time, and we've been using these things forever, and our longevity is actually only increasing. I think there's some truth here, but the reality of how we should be encountering it is probably more in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and look, at the end of the day, if I'm a restaurant like that, and they've gone to non-GMO blue heirloom corn, they've gone to additive-free tequila.
Yeah, that's all good stuff.
Puesto. I mean, Puesto's basically. I've always said this. Puesto's one of those places where people are like, "Oh, it's big, it's a chain. I don't, it can't be good. It's terrible." I'm like, that is such bullshit. That is bullshit. Have you been there? I'm like, do you know what Beau de Bois is? Do you know you ran the Meadowood, the beverage program at 3-star Michelin, and that's where their cocktail program comes from. I'm like, do you know that they've hired people from 11 Madison Park? They just hired Valle's second in charge as their culinary director. I'm like, these guys are doing stuff. And then they do this, which I'm sure was not a small undertaking. I'm sure.
It changes the way that you need to cook at the restaurant. Like, again, these kinds of oils use lower smoke points. So it does actually fundamentally change the way you have to cook. So it's a big undertaking, no doubt.
I know. And there's like, look, if the science is right or wrong, may as well do it.
I don't think it's bad. I say the truth is somewhere in the middle because maybe it's something you should be thinking about it and mitigating for. But like, if you have something cooked in seed oils, are you going to die on the spot?
Nah, you're gonna be okay. You can probably snort some plastic and you're gonna be okay.
Yeah, Barrio Oliva, that's a restaurant in Little Italy that I really, really like. That's a Spanish restaurant that opened sometime in the last couple of years, and they use olive oil only for all their cooking. They are proudly no seed oils, but the food there is like insane.
There we go. Great recommendation.
Yeah,
okay.
I have just a bunch of quick bites.
Okay, quick bites. Let's do it. Can you believe we said that we were going to do this episode in under 30 minutes?
I immediately laughed out loud.
And it is now, what, 29, Julia?
Bullshit.
It is 29 minutes.
You cannot shut us up.
You cannot shut us up.
He's like, we don't have a guest. We'll have nothing to talk about. I'm like, what are you?
If anybody would like consolation in the inability to shut me up off this podcast, my wife's email is clairej@sdmag.com. She will give you a shoulder to cry on because she feels the same way. You know, the funny thing is, though, I shut the hell up at home. I do too.
I'm actually very quiet and a bit introverted. I take a lot of space for myself at home.
I talk so much during the day. It's my job to talk or tell stories and interact with people. Yeah. So when I get home, Claire's like, what do you think about this? And I'm like,
oh my God, me too. And my poor husband just wants to like talk to me. I love him so much. And my friends want to like hang out. And I'm like, I can't.
I got
enough interaction today. Like, I'm good.
Yeah. I'm an extreme song or more than words. Okay. Anyways.
All right. So Chef William Bradley of Addison was awarded 3 knives, and Eric Bost, Leu Leu, Jolie, recent podcast guest, was awarded 1 knife at the 2025 Best Chef Awards, one of only 9 U.S. restaurants recognized. Nice. Chef Nate Horton, formerly of...
I like this one because I loved Izakaya Mais.
Oh, I loved that place. It was close to my house. We did it for Christmas one year. Nate Horton, formerly of Izakaya Mais, launches South Bay food truck La Burguesa, serving Wagyu birria burgers and chili tossed tater tots. DM for location.
DM them for location.
That's La Burguesa.
La Burguesa.
Patchwork Market hosts... Nope, it doesn't, because we're recording after that date.
Okay, it does not. Goodbye, Patchwork Market.
We're by. Let's see. 1251 Prospect Street in La Jolla is the former Alfonso's and Mermaids and Cowboy space. It's becoming La Jollita del Mar, the honest coastal cuisine with a Mexican soul. I don't really know what that means, but I'm into it.
Lolita?
La Jollita.
Like Lolita, but like a La Jolla
version?
I
was like, ooh, ba-doo, ba-doo, ba-doo. That's La Jollita. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to sound like a tourist. La Jollita.
La Jollita.
I got really tongue-tied on that one.
The next one's crazy.
Ballast Point is vacating its Miramar HQ by year's end under Kings and Convicts ownership. It's another sign of that craft beer bubble cooling. That's crazy. They just built that, and it was state of the art and very expensive.
They sold for $1 billion to Constellation Brands. Mm-hmm. It was Constellation Brands. They sold for $1 billion, which is the biggest craft beer acquisition in the history, I believe. And it was, then I think a couple years later, it was sold for the rumor on the street was $100 million or something like that. So you instantly lost $900 million. That is all just slander, innuendo, me hearing things on the street. Don't quote me.
Don't sue me.
But I mean, that's Ballast Point, an icon. And obviously Ballast Point is not going under. Ballast Point is still around.
No, it's just readjusting to the realities of the market. And maybe that market was projected to be bigger than it ended up being, right? It's many such cases. The New York Times just did a huge investigation package about craft beer and its bubble and like what happened across the country, which obviously greatly includes and affects San Diego. And Beth has reported on it for a little local rag called San Diego Magazine, I believe, in the past.
And to be very clear, Ballast Point is still going. And Ballast Point is still strong.
Extremely still going.
That Sculpin is still amazing. That they are still innovating beers. They still have their innovation beer lab and everything else. Everything is still going, but they're getting rid of that massive house. And honestly, that makes so much sense when you think about any industry. Any industry grows. You have so much ambition.
It's a tale's old time, honestly.
Right at the top, you're like, all right, we got this massive thing because it was one of the Sculpin was one of the top craft beers in the world. Mm-hmm. It is globally known. So if you're
they put them on United planes. I was flying to Europe and they handed me a fucking Sculpin once. I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean that and Arrogant Bastard and the Stone Pale Ale.
One of the first craft beers I ever had outside of Magic Hat. Yeah.
Yeah, that probably our two calling cards. That's like our Alex Morgan and Tony Hawk of San Diego beers.
Yeah.
So they, anyways, if you're going to bet big, they bet big, and the market's suggesting, and then Ballast Point will continue to go on. But that Miramar Brewing is going to be something else.
Yeah. And, to that point, there's a little bit of food news that I did actually miss out on. Jack in the Box, they just sold their stake in Del Taco. 100% they out of the taco business, which they don't even need because as we revealed in breaking news on this podcast earlier this year, Jack in the Box's number one sales are actually tacos. So what do you need Del Taco for?
They bought them. They're like, all right, let me see how you do this taco thing. And then right? And then they become the new Del Taco in the house.
So I listen, I know that there are Del Taco enthusiasts. I don't share any of this. I'm not from Southern California originally. I have no history with it. I don't care. I love Taco Bell, and I don't care about Del Taco, and I don't care that it's getting scuttled off. I never ate there anyway.
We
I do love Jack in the Box. We know that.
I'll tell you this. We actually, on the way up to Solvang, it was a 5.5 hour road trip, and the night before we had gone to the Make-A-Wish Foundation's gala. Amazing gala, by the way. Everybody go support the Make-A-Wish Foundation. We got a tad bit wine drunk as we got home. We'd had a tiny bit there, and we got home, and we were like, oh my God, I'm kind of feeling emotional because there was a lot of like heavy stories, and we had a few.
Make-A-Wish, right.
Had a few drinks at home.
Also,
we woke up the
previous
next
podcast guest.
I know. The next morning we wake up and I hear Claire has postmated McDonald's to our house. I haven't had fast food like that in a very long time. So I'm already a little bit apprehensive as to what this is going to do to the living organism known as Troy Johnson. So I'm eating this McDonald's. I'm like, whew, okay, maybe that's enough for a month. We stop on the way in the middle of Solvang up to a beautiful ranch at Taco Bell.
Hell yeah. What'd you get?
2 in one day. I got those hard shell tacos and I got one of those crispy.
Sounds like you missed out on the delights of the Cantina chicken menu, which is unfortunate for you. But thankfully, there are Taco Bells everywhere. I fucking love Cantina chicken.
I will say this. Their fire hot sauce is actually really good. It's not that fiery, but it's good.
It's not.
No,
it's not that fiery, but it is good. Yes,
it is good. And whatever meat that they're putting in there, I don't know what they do to that meat, but the hard shell taco is still a classic in a very gringo way.
It's great. I got the Bel Grande Cantina chicken quesadilla.
A man named Tom Bell invented that. It's a little bit. It's going to have little whiskers of cheddar cheese. It's not going to have like your salsa machas and the really.
Yeah, to be clear, I eat real Mexican food too, and I love it.
Okay, that's it. Okay. Anything else? Is that it? Carnita Snack Shack. Yeah, that's it. All right, that is your all news. Did we? Did we do that in under 30 minutes? 37 minutes.
Pretty good.
How the hell did we talk for 37 minutes? I really thought that was going to be short.
I hope you guys learned something.
I hope you guys learned something. We were going to give you two people $50, but you know what? Screw that. We'll do it later. Thank you guys so much for listening. Next week, we are going to have... We're going to have Puffer Malarkey on. The two that basically, took San Diego's food scene to a new level. After having done Seersucker and Top Chef and everything else, they took a big risk and they opened up Urban Wood, and that effing took off. And then they have Anime, Urban Sea, Lecoq opened up, and they are going to be in. We're going to talk about their whole road, man. So Brian Malarkey, Christopher Puffer on next week. Woo. I know. And Jackie, it's fucking hot in here. Let's bounce.
It's so hot, dude.